And welcome back to Around the World. I'm Martha von Wiesenberger. Martha Bull looking stunning in her pink outfit.
It's hot outside.
Yeah, it is hot.
I was going to wear a sweater and I thought I would melt before I got here.
Yeah, I know. It's summertime in Santa Barbara. It seems to be summertime all the time here these days. Well, you know, with spring break happening right now, a lot of families have their kids out there, and you're keeping your fingers crossed they don't get into too much trouble. We know.
So have you been watching the news? I mean, some of these kids that are getting, into big trouble.
Yeah.
On the spring breaks down in Florida and Mexico. And
I was even reading that thanks to GoPro, that actually increases risky behavior because people are trying to shoot unusual stuff that they can then upload onto YouTube or other sites. So if you're loaded with a GoPro camera with your kid, you even invite more trouble. Yeah. But we have a young lady joining us. Her name is Gina Kirkland. Has a website called girlsfightback.com. And she's going to serve up some good spring break travel safety tips. Hello, Gina. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi there. How are you?
Well, we're feeling safe and sound in our nice little studio here on Around the World. But if you're out and about and you're young, it could be risky, right?
It can be, and Girls Fight Back specializes in teaching personal safety and self-defense to students and to young people. We also have another website I want to mention called safespringbreak.org that is particularly just travel tips and information you need to know when you're on the go, and it's great for parents and kids as well.
All right, so a lot of our listeners and viewers who are thinking about their kids are taking off, they're going to go to the Coachella Music Festival down in the Palm Springs area, or they might be going over to Mexico to have a few tequilas. Well, who knows what. What are some of the things you'd arm them with as a parent to make sure that they travel safely and don't get into trouble?
Well, I think some of the most important tools we can use really come to play no matter where you are, and I always want to mention those. And the first of those is awareness, just general awareness. I know it seems like common sense, but making eye contact, particularly eye contact with anyone who you think is questionable or gives you the creeps, having good posture, looking around when you're going down the street. Also, using your intuition. It's not a joke. It really does inform us in everything we do. So we need to pay attention. When we get that bad feeling, just listen to it. It never hurts to do that. And also just knowing the local laws and the customs of where you're going can be really important when you're hitting the road. One of my favorite websites, it gives you a really good laugh too, is wikitravel.org. If you look up common scams, it has all the scams that you may run into in Europe and in some of these other countries, and when you are familiar with them, you really can see them coming.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, especially for kids who are backpacking, one of the big risks is they're waiting at train stations or bus depots or whatever, and someone runs off with their backpack that has everything from their passport to the return air ticket and all that. Obviously, you want to carry your valuables in some other way on you.
What I recommend is having backups. So if you obviously you have to have your passport somewhere, but bring your driver's license with you as well. Put it in a different place. Have a photocopy of your passport in a different location. Have a photocopy of your passport back at home with someone you can trust. If you have to go to the embassy, they can get that sent over, at least a copy of it. So that's really important, and just general awareness can really help with that kind of thing.
Yeah, speaking of your passport, I've always found a great way if you have a smartphone is just take a photo of your passport, also of your ticket, any other documents you may need.
Which will be stolen if it's in your backpack.
Well, it depends where you keep it, yeah. But you know what? It's redundancy. If you have enough stuff copied somewhere.
So they'll have a copy too.
I leave copies with someone at home every time I leave the house.
Sure.
Just so that there's all. And I actually have, it wasn't even theft. I one time left my wallet at 5 o'clock in the morning in the back seat of a cab while getting on a train to go from Austria to the Czech Republic. So halfway to the Czech Republic, I realized I had lost, not a lot, maybe $80 in cash, my driver's license, passport was in a different place, so I was fine, and a credit card.
Wow.
So, it happens, but I was able to make one phone call, and that person got everything canceled, wired me some money, and everything was fine.
Right.
Good.
Are there places that are just red lights to you? I mean, if you're a mom or if you had kids that were in their teens or early 20s and they say, I want to go to Yemen.
Well, I do have a teen, and I don't think Yemen is a real popular travel destination for the kids these days. However, I think the things that would probably be the most ears perked would be places that are just traditional travel, party hard locations, Cancun, that kind of thing.
Ibiza?
Cabo.
Cabo, exactly. But you know, when we teach our kids how to respect each other, how to respect themselves, when we give them the tools to take care of themselves, we teach them the golden rule, which my golden rule for all kids is go out with your friends and come back with your friends. Be each other's allies. Look out for each other, particularly if you're going to be partying, if you're going to be drinking. And also, I remind my teen, and I think we should all remind our teens, that they all need to set boundaries for themselves. Whatever those boundaries are, they need to know what they are before they leave the house. Don't try and decide what your boundaries are and if you're going to be comfortable drinking or not, or having sex or not, in the middle of a party situation. You want to have that kind of set in your mind before you head out for the night.
Right.
And-
I mean,
and
you
I
can
think-
avoid the Natalie Holloway disaster that happened in Aruba.
And
Exactly. Why did her friends leave her?
I can't.
You don't want them to leave. And by the way, we're going to be out of time soon, but I have one quick question for you. If you also focus in on who your friends are traveling with, I think that has a real impact, because picking the right peers or friends is so important as far as inspiring your kids to do the right thing.
So important, and particularly when we're talking more like college students that are of drinking age. Boy, is it great to have that one sober friend. That one friend who just doesn't drink, who can just kind of keep an eye on what's going on for everybody else. It helps keep everyone safe. And, you know, you're right. Natalie Holloway is a great example of that. Don't leave your friends.
Yeah.
Don't let them convince you. Everyone needs to just stick together.
Yeah.
Well, great tips, Gina.
Yeah,
Again, the
thank you.
websites are girlsfightback.com, and the other one was?
SafeSpringBreak.org.
All righty. Well, we
Perfect.
sure appreciate you helping us get out the right words for all parents, kids, and
Yeah.
even Martha Bull.
And even adults. And thank you all for sharing the word of keeping ourselves a little bit safer.
Great. Thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much.
Have a great day.
All right,
Bye.
you two, we got to cool our jets. I can't believe we're out of time, but
That's it.
we appreciate all our guests, and thank you for listening. Next week, Martha Bull with Andrea Camber.